Well, good evening, everybody, and hope you're enjoying or getting ready to enjoy tonight's episode, which is episode 2 of Virtually Backstage. Now, for those of you that weren't with us a fortnight ago, Virtually Backstage is our version of events whereby we are actually meeting in the flesh with our Rogues Shanty Chorus. We're only able to meet with 24 of our chorus at the moment due to social distancing within the Seagull Theatre. I'm going to give you a bit of background information. My name's Paul, and on the screen in front of you, you can see Andy Marr, our percussionist. And walking around, you'll see him again in a minute, wearing a dashing grey cardigan, is Stephen Amer. He's leading the session tonight. I can't be with him. There's Stephen, and he'll be leading them in song very shortly. I'm going to flash up what those songs are. If you have a Rogues catalogue of songs at your disposal, then please do join in. I'll tell you what the numbers are, and make sure you sing it loud and proud from the comfort of your own home. Anyway, I should just mention that the Rogues Shanty Chorus is a group of people meeting in Lowestoft in the Seagull Theatre, and we gather together to sing the cultural and musical heritage of the East Coast of Great Britain, and we are supported very, very gratefully by the People's Health Trust, and we thank them very much. Now, flashing up their logo on the screen here, they have been financially supporting and funding our project for about a year now, and they made it possible so that we could keep going through lockdown from March all the way to now, and we've been broadcasting these episodes every week. But since a fortnight ago, when we started to meet once again with our Rogues Shanty Chorus in the flesh at the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft, we have been alternating. So last week we were purely online, Stephen and I. The week before that, we were here in the Seagull Theatre, and this week we're back in the Seagull Theatre, and all being well, we'll be broadcasting again once more purely online. Now, we've got a few comments come in, which is fantastic, and it's exactly what we want. We'd love to receive your comments, so I'm just going to flash one up straight away. This one's from Linda Boyce. She says, "Evening, everyone. Looking forward to hearing your lovely voices." Well, thank you very much, Linda. You'll be hearing them ever so soon as we get some noise. Linda, if you can hear me or Jackie or Barry, I'm guessing Barry's in the theatre, but Jackie or Linda, if you can hear me, because Jackie says evening all as well, would you just let me know in the comments that you can hear me, and I'd be very grateful. So in the meantime, I'm going to keep on talking in the hope that you can hear me. Hey, Wendy Duncan, thank you very much. Wendy Duncan says, we can hear you. She doesn't actually say if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But Linda Boyce says, yes, can hear you fine. Thank you very much, ladies. And good evening to Wendy. Good evening to Jackie. Good evening to Linda. Thank you for joining us. I can see there's lots of other people joining us online. You may be joining us via our YouTube channel, or you may be joining us via one of our Facebook pages, which is the Rogues Shanty Chorus or Rogues Shanty Boys. Jackie Draper says, can hear you perfectly. Well, I think that's rather too kind. Although Wendy Duncan says, always good, lol. Thank you very much, ladies, once again. We'll be starting off very soon with a song. Stephen's just going through the safety talk, which is crucial at the moment, and you can see he's hidden behind a couple of perspex screens. That's not for any other reason but to keep everybody in that auditorium safe. Of course, if Stephen goes on a rampage, they won't stop him, but they will stop any airborne particles that might infect anyone. There's also a screen separating him from Andy, although they are a safe distance apart. During his safety talk, he'll be mentioning about the fire regulations, whereby if the fire alarm goes off, people should exit in a certain way to a certain place. And the other thing he'll be mentioning is to please make sure all masks are returned to the face when the chorus is not singing. So anytime someone's sat down, please keep your mask on. And if anybody stands up to sing, then the masks can be removed for that period only. I guess it sounds, I wonder if you're at home thinking this is a bit like the old days of Eurovision with me, all Terry Wogan, all Tell, coming to. It's similar to that, except I'm much more drunk than Terry Wogan ever was, and a lot less funny. So one other thing I'd love for you to do, if you wouldn't mind very much, is please click share. If you're a regular rogue, excuse me, or you're one of our Rogues Shanty Chorus from way back prior to March, you'll know that we really love to engage with the community, and that's one of the strongest reasons for us to meet at all. And to do that even better, and to keep on starting to reach out to those new Rogues Shanty Chorus members, whether it be online or people that are interested in joining us in the flesh, we would love for you to please click share. So just click this little lady, and basically what I mean by that is whether it's on your YouTube or on your Facebook, please click share on this post so that the people in your Facebook friends, your family perhaps, anybody that follows your feed, they will see what it's all about. They'll see what you're up to, and they'll join in with the fun, hopefully on a weekly basis. I'm going to say one more time, thank you very much to the People's Health Trust for funding us via the Active Communities Programme. They have been funding us for well over a year now, and they've made it possible so that we can continue these live stream episodes even in absentia. So thank you to them, and we very much appreciate their continued support. They've made it possible for us to work with people from all ages, whether it be 2 years old to 90 years young, everybody who has an interest in music or singing or sea shanties, or even the cultural heritage of Lowestoft and the surrounding areas. They have made it so that we can continue to engage with the local community in this way, and very grateful we are to them. So thank you very much, People's Health Trust. Very shortly we'll be starting with a shanty or two, and as soon as we know what it is, I think they're just about to start, so I'm going to go straight to them. I'm just going to let him know that he hasn't unmuted himself. Well, we'll have to guess what this shanty is, and I can only apologise for this technical error. But obviously for the next one, we'll tell him that he has to unmute himself. So this is what we would call a dope moment. Here we go.
Oh, the wind is on her quarter, her engine's working free. There's not another whaler that sails out of Dundee can beat the old Berliner, she needs no trial run. And we challenged all both Grail and Small from Dundee to St. John. Both Jackman cut his canvas and he fairly raised his steam. And Captain Guy with Aaron Boy was ploughing through the stream. And the noble Terra Nova, her boilers nearly burst. And still at the old whaling grounds, Berliner got there first. Oh, the wind is on her quarter, her engine's working free. There's not another whaler that sails out of Dundee can beat the old Berliner, she needs no trial run. And we challenged all both Great and Small from Dundee to St. John. And now the season's over and the ship half full of oil. Our flying jib boom points for home towards our native soil. And when that we have landed, boys, where the rum is very cheap, we'll drink success to the skipper's health for getting us over the deep. Oh, the wind is on her quarter, her engine's working free. There's not another whaler that sails out of Dundee can beat the old Bellina. She needs no trial run. And we challenged all, both great and small, from Dundee to the wind. Oh, the wind is on her quarter, her engine's working free. There's not another whaler that sails out of Dundee can beat the old Bellina. She needs no trial run. And we challenged all, both great and small, from Dundee. And we challenged all, both great and small, from Dundee to St. John. And we challenged all, both great and small, from Dundee to St. John. Lovely. Have a seat.
So, as you can see there, that was Bellina, number 25 in our catalogue, or 285 in the Rogues catalogue. And what a fine job everybody did. Bear in mind, that's only the second time now that the Rogues Shanty Chorus have met since the 3rd of March, all the way back since the 3rd of March. But I'd love to know what you thought of that. Please do pop your comments in on the comment box, and I'm sure Stephen will read them out to everybody. But it makes everybody know that watches it later, everybody that's joining in with the process. So thank you everyone for tuning in and joining us tonight.
With that is the sound is not traveling. So as Andy slows down, you might slow down a bit more. Andy would slow down. You slow. So we could lose 40, 50 BPM from start to finish. I'm starting to conduct a little bit. I mean, generous phrase, I guess. But we'll just get ahead out of our lyrics a little bit just to see me. So the wind is on her quarter, her engine's working free. There's not another, because obviously you're not going to hear that at the back as fast as people on the front are going to hear it, and somewhere in between. But just watch out for that. I mean, it is a little imperfect. There's not.
I'm going to take a moment to say hello to Sheila Youngman, one of our regular rogues from way back before March. She says, always a favourite. Lovely, rousing start. You're absolutely right, Sheila. Bellina's one of my favourites as well. Thank you very much for getting in touch.
Did she give you some notes, some director's notes? Yeah. It's not really, no. It's just, I think to pick you up, we need some of these dotted about, which we don't have. We could put normal mics up, but it's really, it's the setup time. I mean, I arrived at like 4:30 to start setting all this up. We could do more, but I think I'd be more concerned about, leads trailing, really. We could probably quite easily bring this around the front, which would be, I think you'd be surprised at how much that picks you up. So maybe we'll do that for next time. We could have one mic to make sure that people could hear the live stream, hear me talking, and then one maybe just for the general sound, ambiently coming as one sound forward. So maybe we'll do that for next time. But what I'd ideally not like to do is have too many mics trailing around, mostly because of the sound leads. And I think also then, unless you've got a few of this particular one with normal dynamic mics, people would understandably be very conscious of how close they were to them. If we've got a rifle mic or a dynamic mic, if it's near Pauline, it's obviously going to pick Pauline up much more than you. Whereas something like this, if we have it a little way away from everyone, it will pick up the sound coming forward generally. So would come down a bit? I think that's not the issue, actually, Andy. I think that would not help us if you came down in volume. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that for next time, Barry. Thank you. Yeah. Anyone else want to check anything? No. I think I'm hoping. I'm sure he is, but I'm hoping Paul's talking to people in the stream, because I feel like I'm ignoring people a little bit, which is fine. Let's do Leave Her Johnny. Can we? Number 8.
So as Stephen said, this is number 8 in our catalogue. In our list of repertoire, it's Leave Her Johnny. The round index is 354. It's a lovely repetitive shanty, and it's all about the decommissioning of the ship after it had finished its voyages and its main commission for what it was built for. Leave Her Johnny, number 8. Please join in. Stephen's going to start with a bit of guitar on this. I'm going to unmute him, and we'll be back in the action.
Yeah, Rosemary. Yeah. Yeah. Now the rats have gone. What is that, Rosemary and Carol? Okay, super. Lovely. Okay. I'll just give you the key. Da da da. The times were hard and the wages low. Yeah, let's stand. We'll go for it. Leave Her Johnny. Yeah. Oh, the times were hard and the wages low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And the grub was bad and the gales did blow. And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. The voyage is done and the winds do blow. It's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. It's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds do blow. It's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Lovely. It's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the wind's done blow. It's time for us to leave her. It's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the wind's done blow. It's time for us to leave her. We ate rotten meat and weevil bread. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And it was pump or drown, the old man said. And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the wind's done blown. And it's time for us to leave her. We will not win or steer nor stay. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Her sails and gear all carried away. And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds do blow. Rosemary and Carol. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. And it's time for us to leave her. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the winds do blow. It's time for us. Leave her, Johnny. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. Oh, leave her, Johnny, leave her. For the voyage is done and the wind's done blow. It's time for us to leave her. Very lovely. Have a seat. Have a seat for a moment. Was I singing some different lyrics?
So, as I said, that's number 8, Leave Her Johnny. Number 8 in our catalogue, 354 in the round index. Now, Joshua Gallen, he chimes in with my favourite shanty. First heard and became aware of it through the video game Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Well, Josh, you probably won't be surprised, but a lot of people may. That's how a lot of young people come to see shanties nowadays, and they've become less of a passed-on art form, and or I guess they're still passed on, but in this manner rather than from sort of generation to generation. So it's a very good thing that it's been able to be kept alive for younger generations in this way. And there's some fantastic shanties and recordings, different versions on Black Flag. One group that I believe is on there is the Dreadnoughts, and they're a wonderful sea shanty group. So thank you very much for your comment, Joshua. As I mentioned, Leave Her Johnny is it's a bit of a testament to a ship at the end of a ship, and when it reaches the end of its commission.
Okay, who does the repeat on this, please? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, lovely. Should get a nice feel then. One in each row. I'll cue us at least on the first chorus. Both lines. By the time we get to the second chorus, I'll just start the first line off, and then everyone who's on line 1 of the chorus carry on going, okay? And I'll be with line 2s, all right? When we get to the very end, we do a double chorus, and we don't put a stop in at the end of the first one, okay? Every other time, we get a cue from Andy. Yeah. I soon shall live above the shores of time and dwell forever in God's celestial clime. Beyond the sea. Is that okay? Let's stand then. Do we feel like that pitch is going to be okay? Beyond the sea. Yeah? Okay, lovely. I can give us a cue and I'm not playing. 1, 1. What's the 1? 1, 2, yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. Beyond the sea that rolls between this world of care and things unseen, there is a land of endless day, where all our tears are wiped away. Beyond the sea, beyond the sea, I hear my loved ones gently calling me. I soon shall live above the shores of time and dwell forever God's celestial clime. Beyond the sea lies Hen's fair shore, where all our sins and cares are o'er, where care and toil have passed away. shall stray. Beyond the sea, beyond the sea. Hear my loved ones gently calling me. I soon shall live above the shores of time and dwell forever God's celestial clime. No more shall be the flood of years across these forms so frail and worn. No more shall roll the sea of tears across these hearts by anguish torn. Beyond the sea, beyond the sea. I hear my loved one gently calling me. I soon shall live of the shores of time and dwell forever God's celestial clime. Beyond the sea, there's rest and peace. There Jesus bids his children come. Beyond the sea, the tempest cease. Their angels sing a welcome home. Beyond the sea, beyond the sea. Hear my loved ones gently calling me. I soon shall live above the shores of time and dwell forever God's celestial clime. Beyond the sea, beyond the sea. Hear my loved ones gently calling me. I soon shall live above the shores of time and dwell forever God's celestial clime. Yay, lovely.
So that was Beyond the Sea, number 13, a favourite historically at the funerals and services of sailors that had passed away, fishermen and maritime folk. Beyond the Sea, a lovely, lovely piece, very hymnal. And as I said, number 13 was written by Joseph Lincoln Hall and Frank H. Mashaw. So thank you to the Rogues Shanty Chorus for that tonight, and lovely it was too. I'm going to go to a couple of comments because a few have come in. One comes from Martha Knox Forrester. This is great. I thought I was going to miss out having a cold, but this is lovely. Linda Boyce also writes in. She says, lovely to hear the others this week. It was very faint last time. Yes, don't quite know how we've managed it, but we've managed it, so that's good. Must have boosted it somehow, but good to know that you can hear it okay. Stephen's just passing out some lyrics. So while he does that, I'm going to just say a few things. One is, again, if you wouldn't mind, please clicking share. That would be fantastic. Just to let your friends, family, and followers know that we are broadcasting this evening, and that they can view it whenever, wherever they like, on YouTube channel, on our Rogues Shanty Chorus Facebook page, and our Rogues Shanty Boys Facebook page. We're available wherever, whenever. This is what our Rogues Shanty Chorus looks like in true form. This was at a recent show that we performed at the Seagull Theatre. And if you're interested in shows at the Seagull Theatre, Stephen and I will be performing one very such show on the 8th of November at 2:30 at the Seagull Theatre in Lowestoft. It's called The Songs of Remembrance, and tickets are £8 or £10 if you're interested. Please contact the theatre box office either online or on their landline, and we'd be very grateful to see you there. In the meantime, I'm going to say thank you very much to People's Health Trust for their continued support to keep these sessions going, not just our shanty sessions on alternate Tuesday nights, but these virtually backstage sessions on the in-between nights, and also Monday night history sessions with local legend and historian Ivan Bunn. Let's see if we can work out what song they're going to sing for us next, and please sing along.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't ask you to solo it to test it. I just want to. Who feels like they might have heard it? Yeah, wonderful, good, okay. Well, in that case, who would like solo? No, not really. I think we'll put this quite high, actually. Would anyone just like me to slowly go through it before we launch into? Yeah. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Bully in the alley, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbone now. Yeah. So that's the chorus. The verse, you know, as we know with many shanties, is the same, exactly the same melody. We've just put a slightly different arrangement at the end of the chorus, a delay before we sing Al. Okay, so bully down in Shinbone, Al. Okay, but in the verses we're doing bully down in Shinbone, Al. Okay, I know that enrages people when we put in a slightly original arrangement or do something a bit different. No particular reason for it, but that's what we're going to do. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Bully in the alley, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbone, Al. Or bully down in Shinbone, Al, if we're at the verse, yeah? Does that make sense? But we can do it a wee bit brisker, okay? So let's stand and we'll go for it. The other thing we do with this, which does make it quite short, is we start with the chorus, we do 2 verses, back to the chorus, okay? 2 more verses, chorus, and then we finish with a final verse, okay? Which should, if we're doing it in a fairly brisk speed, should make it a short drag shanty, okay? And as we've said before, the difference between a short drag and a long haul shanty is just the amount of verses and the speed. You won't be able to sustain the speed from a short drag into a long haul, okay? So when the occasion is desperate, as they said, there's a wind coming and we need it, or there's a storm coming and we don't want it. Okay, so 1, 2. String out, we're gonna carry on. Here we go. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Bully in the alley. Bob, I'm bully in the alley, bully down in Shinbone now. Verse 1, well, Sally is a gal that I love dearly. Way, bully in the alley, Sally is the gal that I splice dearly. Bully down in Shinbone now. For 7 long years I called it Sally. Way, bully in the alley, all she did was dilly-dally. Bully down in Shinbone now. Chorus. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alleyway. Bully in the alley. Help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbone now. Here we go. I'll leave Sal and I'll become a sailor away. Bully in the alley. I'll leave Sal and ship aboard a whaler. Bully down in Shinbone now. I left Sal and I went a sailing way. Bully in the alley, signed on a big ship, I went a whaling. Bully down in Shinbone now. Chorus. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley way. Bully in the alley, help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley. Bully down in Shinbone now. Last verse. When it's time to leave, I'm gonna slip my cable away. Bully in the alley, gonna visit Sal as often as I'm able. Bully down in Shinbone now. Chorus. So help me, Bob, I'm bully in the alley way. Yeah, lovely, yeah.
As Stephen said, that's Bully in the Alley, number 61 in our catalogue, but well, it's quite a number in the round index. It's 8,287. A very old chant indeed, Bully in the Alley. Lots of possible references, but the most obvious one, Bully in the Alley, being perhaps to the method of Shanghaiing, whereby you'd find somebody would shout you a drink in an unfamiliar pub, and that drink would very quickly either turn into several, or would perhaps be a lot stronger than it should have been. And then once you stepped outside to get some air, you get clobbered over the head with a truncheon, and you wake up to find yourself on board a ship on deck. So let's see if he's going for another song, or maybe they are looking at a break.
Yeah. Next time we do it, I'll make sure I've got the correct lyrics, okay? Sorry. But the format stands. Is that all okay? Yeah, lovely. Do we feel like we could push that a tiny bit higher? Let's try something. Is that right? I mean, it doesn't move too much. It's all within the range of about a fourth. I might actually transpose it for that then. Okay, lovely.
While he's figuring that out, I'll just say hello to Hazel Rumble. She says, "Hi everyone, enjoying listening to you. We are in a hotel in Lowestoft, enjoying a few days here in Suffolk. Hazel and Faye." Thank you, Hazel. Lovely to know you're with us again, and really appreciate you joining us. So thank you very much, and hope you have a lovely stay in Lowestoft. There's some gorgeous hotels, and I hope you're in one of the best.
Then pop the masks on for those who wear masks, and we maintain social distancing. Okay, so that means that we are not mingling, but we do need to break up. That's as part of our ventilation that we move as well. Okay, so we've got about 3 or 4 minutes left, and I'd like to try a call and repeat, if that's all right. Super simple. So with a call and repeat, you sing back to me what I sing to you. I know you get that, but this is actually a Leonard Cohen song. Paul's going to be annoyed that I'm doing a Leonard Cohen song because he's a big fan. But we're putting it into
I am a big fan, and I am annoyed.
Okay, so the lyrics are: forget your perfect offering, just ring the bells that you can ring. That's how your light shines in. That okay, so forget your perfect offering, just ring the bells that you can ring, just ring the bells that you can ring. That's how the light shines in. So up to that point, you're copying me. That's how the light shines in. But then you're going to change it. That's how the light shines in. Okay, I'll try and sing that with you, that bit. Okay, so we'll do it as a call and repeat, but first we'll learn it. Okay. Forget your perfect offering. Forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring. Just ring the bells that still can ring. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light shines. And again, that's how the light shines in. That's how the light shines in. Perfect, yeah. We don't need to repeat that as many times as the end. I'm just making sure we've got it because you're not copying me, okay? Is that all right? Forget your perfect offering. Let's take it a bit higher. And we're a tiny bit faster as well. Yeah. Stay sat for this one. Forget your perfect offering. Forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring. Just ring the bells that still can ring. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light shines. And again, That's how the light. Forget your perfect offering. Forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring. Just ring the bells that still can ring. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light shines. Lovely. I'm going to move it around a bit. Forget your perfect offering. Forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring. Just ring the bells that still can ring. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light. Yeah. Forget your perfect offering. Forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring. Just ring the bells that still can ring. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light shines. Forget your perfect offering. Forget your perfect offering. Just ring the bells that still can ring. Just ring the bells that still can ring. That's how the light shines in. That's how the light. Keep going round. That's how the light shines in. 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 Yeah, lovely. All right, super. Nice. I don't think Jackie would listen to that and say she couldn't hear you, Barry, because that sounded lovely. Okay, let's take our break now. So we'll mask up. We don't have to stay where we are, although if you want to, you can. You don't now.
So as Sim said, they're going into a break now. Claire Garrett, she's commented, "Hi guys, this is sounding awesome." I think she's referring to Stephen Cohen and the Pakefield Sisters of Mercy, as I'm going to refer to them all from now on. That was a Leonard Cohen piece that Stephen was leading as a call and repeat. And Marie Gallagher, she says, "Hi guys," and hi to Marie. Thanks for joining in tonight. Lovely to have all your comments in these boxes. In the meantime, as I said, they're going to take a break, and feel free to do the same if you want to go and put the kettle on or whatnot. You're more than welcome to do that. But while you do that, I'm going to play you a song by our group, the Rogues Shanty Boys. It's called "Heading to the Sea of the Lord." You might find it very quiet, but this is as loud as I can get it, so forgive me on that.
Floating in the water, flowing with the river, heading to the sea of the Lord. Taking me to heaven, staying there forever, treading into trouble no more. All my days spent fighting the torrent of the raging river, the rolling, raging river. Too afraid to float with the current that's heading to the sea of the Lord. Floating in the water, flowing with the river, heading to the sea of the Lord. Taking me to heaven, staying there forever, treading into trouble no more. The hand of sin tried to drag me under the raging river, the rolling, raging river. The tide moves fast and sounds like thunder, and it's heading to the sea of the Lord. Floating in the water, flowing with the river, heading to the sea of the Lord. Of the Lord. Taking me to heaven, staying there forever, treading into trouble no more. All my life been terrified of failure in the raging river, the rolling, raging river. The holy vessel makes every man a sailor, and it's heading to the sea of the Lord. Floating in the water, flowing with the river, heading to the sea of the Lord. Of the Lord. Taking me to heaven, staying there forever, treading into trouble no more. marching into battle as a faithful soldier.
In the raging river, the rolling raging river,
Straightened by the righteous hand upon my shoulder.
and I'm heading to the sea of the Lord.
Floating water, flowing with the river, heading to the sea of the Lord.
Of the Lord,
Taking me to heaven, staying there forever,
treading into trouble no more.
faith will keep my head above the surface
Of the raging river, the rolling raging river,
courage finds my heart when I feel nervous.
and I'm heading to the sea of the Lord.
Floating in the water, flowing with the river, heading to the sea of the Lord.
Of the Lord,
Taking me to heaven, staying there forever,
treading into trouble no more.
sinners will be saved before they perish.
In the raging river, the rolling raging river,
The Son the Lord gave for us to cherish.
and I'm heading to the sea of the Lord. Floating,
In water,
flowing,
the river, heading to the sea of the Lord.
of the Lord,
Taking me to heaven, staying there forever,
treading into trouble no more.
no more. We'll be
Treading into trouble no more.
I'm going to come quietly with the volume, just in case anyone whacked up the volume to be able to hear that. Hope it wasn't too quiet for you. Apologies if it was. In the meantime, we've had a few comments. Claire Garrett affirms, I am indeed. By that she means referring to the call and repeat that she enjoyed that Stephen led just a few moments ago. Jackie Draper says, yes, can hear the choir this week. Lovely. Yeah, it was tricky last time to hear the choir, but maybe we can boost it a little bit more for the next session in 2 weeks' time. And don't forget, if you're one of our regular rogues, one of the members of our chorus, our Rogues Shanty Chorus, prior to lockdown, which our last session was March the 3rd, I believe. If you're somebody that has been used to joining us at the Seagull Theatre on alternative Tuesday nights, then please be aware that you're welcome to join us once again. You have to book your space so that we know exactly who's coming, because we have a limited number of 24 now due to social distancing. So that's how many people we've got in the auditorium at the Seagull Theatre tonight, singing along with Stephen and Andy. And Jackie Draper's enjoying from the comfort of her home, and she's commenting in. So thanks very much, Jackie. Somebody else that's a regular Rogue Shanty Chorus member is Monica Manning. She says, hi everyone, nice singing. Well, thank you very much, Monica. Lovely to know that you're enjoying it from home, and we can't wait to see you and everybody else that would like to come back at some point, I hope, as and when it's appropriate to do so. There's no pressure. If you're able to join us, then you should know that you're very welcome. And if you're not quite ready, then that's fine as well. As long as you'd be able to join in from home, that's great for us too. So the Rogue Shanty Chorus, they're taking a wee break at the moment, just to circulate the air in the building, make sure things are kept as safe as possible during this epidemic. And one of those conditions is that the room is properly ventilated. So we've got doors open to make sure that the air can circulate, and people are moving around at the moment with their masks on. And anybody that needs a comfort break, whatever that might be, they've got the chance to do that as well. And there might even be one or two people bending Stephen's ear about what on earth that last song was. In the meantime, I'm gonna say this one more time because, frankly, it should be said as many times as possible, and that is thank you very much to our funders. I know I've been saying this a lot tonight, but they do deserve a heck of a lot of credit, and that would be the People's Health Trust. They have been funding us for well over a year now, and they've been funding us all the way through lockdown and this epidemic period through an active communities program, which means that we get to work with people from all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of ages, and all kinds of experience when it comes to music. We've been very lucky to do so, and the project continues online as well as in the flesh. Tracy Barnard's been in touch. She said it is lovely listening in, and I'm not actually in the building, so I'm going to assume this is actually Tracy Barnard, and that perhaps Kevin, her other half, is actually at the Seagull Theatre with the rest of the Rogues tonight. But perhaps they'll write in and let me know if I'm completely erroneous in that. So thanks very much, Tracy, if it is you, for commenting in and for joining us this week. I hope you're singing along. I don't think you've ever joined us for an actual session that I can recall, but I'm sure you've been to see not just Kevin, but also Baby Shanty, Adam. Sorry, I got a little bit disturbed by Tracy saying, yes, it's me. Kev is singing along with the choir. Of course he is. I thought he would be because he usually is right on the front row, and I thought I could hear him. But I swear I could hear you as well, Tracy. So you must be singing along very loudly at home, which is great, because a lot of these shanties, they deserve to be sung with gusto. Looks like they're almost ready from their break, or certainly will be quite soon. Tracy Barnard, she's come back at me again and says, I have watched many shows. Of course you have, Tracy. She says, I find myself singing and humming the songs. Yes, a lot of them can be earworms. They're very intrusive on daily life. And I find myself humming along and singing them, not always at the most appropriate moments either, to be honest, Tracy. But that's the beauty of shanties. They're very repetitive. They're easy to join in with, and obviously they served a purpose historically of being work songs and making sure that the efforts on board a ship were coordinated, so that when muscle power was the primary force that was able to harness the wind into the sails and get ships moving, but not just when it comes to propulsion, but also, of course, for catching the fish and weighing anchor and all of the other tasks that were carried out on board through the hands of the men in the crew. The shanty was employed to make sure they did it in unison and made the most of their efforts in whatever those tasks were. We'll be joining the Rogues Shanty Chorus very shortly again soon, and I wonder what song they'll be starting off with. Could be any one of them. I know there's a couple in the pipeline, but Stephen said he was going to offer it up to the floor to see who fancied singing a few of the different songs from the repertoire. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. While we wait for the good people of the Rogues Shanty Chorus to begin again, if I may, I'm just going to launch another shameless plug for a show that Stephen and I are undertaking in performance at the Seagull Theatre, which is where the Rogues Shanty Chorus are tonight. It's called Songs of Remembrance, and it's on Sunday the 8th of November, Remembrance Sunday, of course, at 2:30 p.m. Tickets are £8 or £10, and we'd be delighted if you could join us. They're selling quite fast, I'm afraid, especially as it's a socially distanced, very limited audience capacity. So if you would like to come along, you'll need to phone on 589726, 01502 589726 during box office hours, or you can book online on the Seagull Theatre website to get your tickets.
Okay, let's make a start. Okay, if we were to do Rolling Down to Old Maui, number 50, would anyone need a copy? Well, I'm unmuted, so I'm going to say hello to everyone in the live stream. Would anyone like to say hello to everybody in the live stream? Hello. Yeah, I'll tell you what I will do. I will just turn the camera so you can give a quick wave. Ready? There we go. Okay. So Rolling Down to Old Maui. Number 50, 50. Yeah. Was that tune already? Let's stand. It's a damn tough life. Yeah. I think we'll go straight in. Yes, of course you can. Yes, you can. Yeah. As long as you face, it's just face forward. That's all, Maureen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, long one. This we may lose a verse or two. We'll see. What have we got? There's quite a few. We'll finish with a double chorus. Okay. I think previously we might have done this where, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just come in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's a damn tough life full of toil and strife. We will ever undergo, and short and free. And we don't give a damn when we drink our rum with the girls of old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. Verse 2. Once more we sail with a northerly gale through the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut from them tropical lands we soon shall see again. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. But now we're bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. Verse 3. Once more we sail the northerly gale towards our island home. Our mainmast sprung, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. Our stunsail boom is carried away. What care we for that sound? The living gale after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic round, rolling down to old Maui. Last verse. And now we're anchored in the bay with the Kanakas all around. With chants and song down low our roots, they greet us homeward bound. And now ashore we'll have good fun, we'll paint their beaches red, awaiting in the arms of an island man with a big fat aching head. Rolling down to old Maui. Double chorus. Rolling down.
So that was Rolling Down to Old Maui, round number 2005, number 5050 in our catalogue, in your folders if you have one, and hopefully you do, and hopefully you're singing along with us. And you'll have noticed that's quite a much more bleak song compared to the rest of the material. And the reason being, it's a whaling song. So I don't mean it has to be whaled. I mean, it comes from the boats that would catch the whales, which was a very bleak industry indeed, especially for the whale, as we often joke. But in all seriousness, a very gruesome business, and that those sailors undertook. And it was very cold. They were chasing the winter all around the globe, in very harsh conditions, as well as the gruesome nature of what they were doing. So hence, the material they would be singing was equally bleak, and that's why you often find the whaling songs, especially the ones in our repertoire, are the darkest ones that we cover. The exception being "Blow Ye Winds." I can't remember what that might be, number 52 in our catalogue, but "Blow Ye Winds" is a much more easygoing natured whaling song, but it's one of the exceptions. Let's see if we can earwig in and find out what the next number might be.
October, the fair would visit town, and it would stop at this particular green, which was quite a walk across several marshy fields. And the men would all go there to visit the fair and to have a drink or two. And to ensure that they came back to their village safely at the end of the night, they would carve out mangold wurzels, put their candles in, and carry them home to find their way home. And the reason they used them was so that their candles wouldn't blow out. And this tradition dates back to the Middle Ages. And so when I see people say, well, the Americans have brought us trick or treat, what actually happened there was in several years after the fair first started to visit town, and this became quite a tradition, the women left at home would encourage their children to reenact the drunken antics of the fathers that had gone off to the fair. So they would carve out their own pumpkins eventually, but mangold wurzels, put candles in, and then fall about drunkenly, pretending that they were falling in the marshes and the bogs and trying to find their way home. And this became quite a tradition in itself, more so than the fair visit in town. And so the children eventually started to be given some money for their wonderful revelry and performance skills. And so the tradition of Halloween it's supposed to have come from Punky Night, the last Thursday in October. Still is observed now and again in Somerset. And there is a song called Punky Night, but we just cannot find a melody for it. And we didn't want to bring a song along and just have a guess at. We wanted to bring an authentic version of it. So this time next year we might, who knows? But that's Punky Night. And given we're close enough to Halloween, we thought we'd share that. Barry, yeah.
Another fact about Halloween is it's suspected to have originated from the Celtic traditional festival at the end of harvest called Samhain, which is a Celtic word abbreviated from summer gone. So yeah, in fact, the fear of Halloween is called Samhainophobia. We're all about the facts tonight.
Would anyone need a copy? Great. I'll just find our master copy. Anyone know if they have a solo line in this? Oh, we got a few, yeah. Kev, since we sailed from Plymouth Sound, would that be okay?
Is that just an hour?
I've got that John normally does it, but Kev is his dep. Is that all right?
Okay.
Rosemary, we've worked the self-same gun. Is that okay? Sandra, etc. I'm sorry if it's just etc. Pauline, I know that's you as well. When the Middle Watch was on. And that's it. Would anyone else like a line?
I did originally do off times of we laid out.
Well, there you go then. Let's do it again, Helen. Could we? Yeah. So Helen on oftentimes we laid out towards the middle there. Leaves a verse or two. We don't need to fill it. That's fine. So now we're safe ashore, Jack. Boom, boom. Da, 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 da. Okay. Except on the last chorus, we do 4 beats instead of the 2. Okay. So it's a double chorus. First one we get 2 beats rest. Last time we get 4 beats rest. Okay. Let's stand then. We'll give it a go. Safe and sound at home again. Is that right? Yeah. Safe and sound at home again. Let the waters roar, Jack, and we'll sing with glad refrain. Let the chorus soar, Jack. Long we've tossed on the rolling main. Now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate. Folly, rolly, 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 ride on.
Since we sailed from Plymouth Sound, 4 years gone all night, Jack. Was there ever charming snow, such as you and I, Jack?
Long we've tossed on the rolling main. Now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate. Folly, rolly, 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 ride on. Quarter deck division, the whole commission. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. Torn or danger fearing, to the weather earring. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. And the time went slow, boy. Who like Jack or Joe, boy? Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. There she swings an empty hoe, not a soul below now. Number 7, starboard miss, Mrs. Jack and Joe now. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. But the best of friends must part, fair or foul the weather. And your flipper for a shake, now a drink together. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. Long we've tossed on the rolling main, now we're safe ashore, Jack. Don't forget your old shipmate, folly, rolly, 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 ride-o. Yeah.
So don't forget your old shipmate. And one of our shipmates, I'm going to make her an honorary crew member, is Dottie Christine. She says, one of my favourites. Christine, you'll have to forgive me. I'm not sure if we're acquainted with you yet. If this is your first time joining us tonight, you're very, very welcome indeed. If I should have seen your name up here before, please forgive me. In any case, we're very grateful and glad that you are tuning in and popping your comments in the box. She says it's one of my favourites. Mine too. Thank you very much. That was Don't Forget Your Old Shipmate, and that was number 27 in our repertoire. So if you have a catalogue, as in a folder at home, I'm letting you know what numbers they are so you can join in. Let's see if we can earwig what the next number will be.
Can we do number 11, please? No soloists on this, although I'm happy to apportion some. No. Anybody need a copy of it? No, well, let's stand then. I found myself shipped on a whaler, and I sailed to the far northern seas. And being a bold-hearted sailor, I cared not for ice, sea, nor breeze. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. When up in the hoops I was dandy, at sighting a whale there she blows. When out in the whaleboat was handy, a smarter young tar never rode. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. 8 bells, 8 bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Well, it always felt such a long time to be up there just on your own. And my mind would often wonder to dream of my girl back at home. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Now it's the men. At the end of my watch, all my fancy was to get to my bunk quickly, oh, for I wanted to dream of my Nancy. So I called from the watch, hey below. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. But now I'm no longer a sailor. I often wake up in the night and thinking I'm still on the whaler. Call out with the greatest delight. Keep it there. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Hey bells, rouse out there the watch from below. Yeah, lovely. Have a seat for a moment.
So 8 Bells, number 11 in our repertoire. And as I mentioned earlier, the wailing songs are often the bleakest. That is a wailing song. And the 8 Bells refers to the shift pattern. So a bell would be rung every half hour to signify that the half hour had passed, and the shifts would be taken in 4-hour stints. So the 8th bell signified the very end of that shift pattern. You'd tend to go back to your bunk, as the lyrics reference. At the end of my watch, my fancy was to get to my bunk quickly, or perhaps you'd go and get something to eat. But in any case, your shift pattern was done on the 8th bell. So basically, the crew was just waiting to hear for the end of their shift, for that 8th bell to ring, which meant they could go and get some kip or some rest in another form. Claire Garrett says, "I think it's becoming my favourite." Well, it's good to know, because, like I said, some of these are quite bleak in sound, a little bit darker in tone, and doesn't mean you can't enjoy them though.
When he was in the group Silly Wizard, there's a lot of great versions out there. Ours is based obviously on his. Would anyone need a copy of this? Does anyone who doesn't know it?
So Stephen was just pointing out this next number, the Rambling Rover, is number 55 in our repertoire. It is not in any way a shanty. It's not a traditional piece. It's quite a modern piece. I believe mid-80s, perhaps around 1987 or something like that. But it belongs to Andy Stewart, who was of the group Silly Wizard, a folk group, but a more modern folk group. As I say, it's not a shanty in any way, but it's a great song, and it's one that we really enjoy. Quite recent for us in our repertoire, but still very popular.
The sober men are Would anyone like a quick, if I go through it, no bash? Yeah? Oh, there's sober men a plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. Just get that note right. I'm just going to have a swig of water. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. Yeah? But give me a rambling rover, free Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. So there's the note you wanted to go to earlier, but we don't. Okay. Does anyone want that note again on girl? Da 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 da. There you go. That's it. Men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. Yeah. A+2 on the chord, and it's the same. Yeah, it's the same melody from the chorus to the verse. Okay, let's stand then. Has everybody? Sorry, to get us to start and then stop. But on the last verse, has everyone just got one set of lyrics? There's no alternative words in that verse. No, that's fine then. Yeah, that tells me all I need to know. There's just there are some alternative words, and I can't remember if we printed them and crossed through them, depending on whether we were going out live to the internet and we needed to not say certain words. But we ignore me. Yeah, good speaking, Andy. Here we go with all the sober men of plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, free Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. I have roamed through all the nations, taken delight in all creation, and enjoyed a wee sensation when the company did recline. And when parting was no pleasure, I drank another measure to the good friends that we treasure, for they'll always be on my mind. Oh, the sober men are plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, free Orkney down and over. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. There's many who feign enjoyment from merciless employment. Their ambition was this deployment from the minute they left the school. And they save and scrape and ponder, while the rest go out and squander, see the world and rove and wonder. They're happier as a rule. Oh, the sober men are plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, free Orkney down and over. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. If you're bent with arthritis, your bowels have got colitis, and also conjunctivitis, and thinking it's time you died. If you've been a man of action, as you're lying there attracted, you will gain some satisfaction. Think, Jesus, at least I've tried. Oh, the sober men are plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, free Orkney down and over. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Oh, the sober men are plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 who have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, free Orkney down and over. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Lovely. Have a seat.
Yeah, it's a great song, The Rambling Rover. I fancy Stephen might be starting to regret leaving Andy to be in charge of the speed of that one. There's quite a lot of consonants to spit out in that song. There's a lot of lyrics and that was around 120 BPM. I think Andy must have had a whole can of Red Bull in the break, and it's made him a little bit fast. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, this is only the second time everybody's met in person since March. So just the second time that everybody's met in person. We're limited on numbers to 24 due to social distancing within the theatre, making sure that we keep everyone at an appropriate distance and safe. There are lots of other measures involved in that, but like I said, only the second time for some time now. We're rapidly approaching the end of our night, and I hope you've enjoyed being with us. If you have, do leave us a comment or two just to mention whatever you feel, really. If there's things you think we could change to improve, or things that you particularly enjoyed. Hang on.
And we'll call it a night. Let's give him a turn around.
This is everybody with us tonight.
Well, that's it then. So I'm just going to say goodnight. I'll let Paul actually. I'm going to mute me and I'll let Paul carry on as he wants to.
Yeah, you do that, Stephen. Thank you very much. Anyway, once more to everybody out there, thank you very, very much to everybody who has joined us online, and to everybody that clicked share. We really appreciate that, because it means we can grow and expand our community and our reach organically. So thank you for that. It's very kind. And thank you to everybody that commented in our comment section. And it's really, really lovely to have your company, and to know that you're out there enjoying it and potentially singing along as well. Fantastic for us. So thank you very much for doing that. One couple of things I'd like to say is that we are very lucky to have the support financially, as well as in all sorts of ways, of the People's Health Trust. They've been funding us for well over a year now, and they've kept us going through the lockdown period, as well as right up to date now. They've kept us going with funding and made it so that we can still engage with everybody. And very grateful we are to them. But our pilots committee, our steering group, they've told me off in the past for not mentioning this. If you'd like to support us financially further to that, you can make a donation at this address. This is what it looks like. And it's paypal.me/online choir. paypal.me/online choir. And I can assure you that in doing so, all monies received from yourself will go directly towards keeping the Rogues Shanty Chorus singing. We are funded, and very grateful we are too. But if you'd like to further that during these times, we'd be very much appreciative of that. We know times are tough at the moment, especially. So please don't feel you have to, but if you'd like to, that's how you can support us further still. And a comment from Jackie Draper. She says, lovely evening, really enjoyed myself. Well, thank you very much to you, Jackie. Lovely to know you're there. And didn't your boy do good tonight? I could hear him. I'm sure everybody could. And lovely to have him in the theatre. Lovely to have you online supporting us in that way too. So thank you very much to you, Jackie. And thank you to everybody. I'm going to pretty much leave it there and just mention that we'll be back here in a week online on our Facebook pages, the Rogues Shanty Chorus page, the Rogues Shanty Boys page, and also on our YouTube channel. You can join us on either one of those mediums, and that'll be Stephen and I broadcasting with episode 31 of our Shanty sessions. That'll be next week, Tuesday the 3rd of November, 7:30 p.m. If you're able to join us, please do. And thank you very much. Good night to everybody. Have a lovely week.